right, welcome to Smell the Coffee with Glenora Shapura and Ashwin Bedi. It is a Friday, which means we're winding down the week by keeping our coffee news fresh out the kettle. How's it going?
It's going very well. It's great to see you on this show. I've
It's good to be here. It's good to be here. This is where we come to relax. This is where we come to vibe. It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. I'm ready to go out. What are your plans?
Tonight, actually, I'm going to be emceeing Ali Tobias's album launch, which is going to be wonderful at the NG Kirk. She's a wonderful singer. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Right after that, I'm going to go watch South Africa face Italy in the Rugby World Cup. And some people are going to Fashion Bar because Fashion Bar, the iconic Fashion Bar, is closing this weekend.
My heart is shattered. I mean,
there go our college years.
Yes!
There go our college years.
I mean, all the memories we've created at Fashion Bar, guys.
Yeah.
Like the losing of the phone.
The losing of the phones.
All the wallets. Getting drunk on $10 shots.
Oh, the morals, all of it going into the
were they $1 shots?
$1. In fact, that's how they're doing it this weekend. They're kicking it old school. $30 gets you in. $1 shots, $5 ciders. Of course, I don't drink anymore.
Oh, you don't?
On Fridays.
Nice one.
Yeah. But it is interesting.
I'm sold. $1 shots.
Yeah. It's the end of an era.
It is an end of an era. And I actually feel very sad about it because I feel like Fashion Bar made us, at some point.
It made us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like
but in college years, it's what we could afford. It was...
Absolutely.
It
was the texture of our college year as well. We have quite a few extra interesting stories coming to you right after the break.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
All right, let's dive straight into our top stories. We start off with a name that is familiar to everyone, whether you like it or not, and it is Drake. The Canadian rapper is giving a good vibe as he recently decided to give two of his newlywed fans a free trip to the Caribbean islands of Turks and Caicos after hearing that their honeymoon had been cancelled. After noticing the placard they had up and recognizing the newlyweds' sacrifice to see him perform, the musician stated, "Since we're in Atlanta tonight and I'm feeling all the love from everybody, one of my favorite places in the world, you know what it is? Some place called Turks and Caicos. I'ma send y'all to Turks and Caicos on a little honeymoon." That's a lovely gesture.
Wow, that's very sweet. Although maybe he should have asked them where they would want to go.
Really?
Oh, am I being too much?
Well, they cancelled their honeymoon, so they don't have plans, number one.
So I can send you
I have a question. Would you cancel your honeymoon for a Drake concert?
No, never. Never.
But you're both Drake fans. Clearly, they're both Drake fans.
Oh, no, man.
Okay, who's your favorite artist?
Let me think. Maybe Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
It just depends
say
on that. So you'd cancel the honeymoon and you'd be like, the honeymoon is the concert.
Yeah, or we will go to... I need a honeymoon.
Yeah.
There's just no ways. I will. What did you say we were honeymoon? We were at Drake's concert?
Drake's concert. I mean, I think they like it, and it seems to have paid off for them. I like when artists put up gestures like this, because a lot of people do sacrifice to go and watch them, and it's not like the artist has to do it. He really doesn't have to.
That was actually very sweet.
It's a nice gesture. It's nice compared to some of the news we have to deal with regards to Drake.
That's a good one. Exactly. Yeah, he's a bit too much.
He's a lot. But he has to be, you know what I mean? He's playing the market. You know, sometimes I'm like, why is Drake dressed like a 17-year-old? Then I realize, he's just in the season of selling music to them, and that's something he does.
He has to behave that way.
He does what he does.
But speaking of honeymoon destinations, do you have like preferred destinations? Because I actually never
Very
looked into
interestingly,
that.
so of course, I'm engaged. One of the places I was considering, I can talk about it because we can't go, was Marrakesh. and they had the earthquake very recently,
Yeah,
which was
I know,
very
yeah.
sad. But I definitely love Marrakesh. I love countries with textures that I'm unfamiliar with. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the African countries.
Yeah.
West Africa. I think the Southern Africans, we spend a lot of time. We go to South Africa, Cape Town, but sometimes it's nice to go see other African countries, preferably where there's no military coup.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm definitely leaning more towards East Africa,
Tanzania.
Mombasa, Zanzibar.
Oh, yes.
The Blue Ocean, I've never seen that. So,
All right.
For anybody who has a little crush on me, I've not seen the Blue Ocean.
It's called the Blue Ocean, right?
Yeah, the Indian Ocean.
Because I feel like I went to the ocean in Soccerman and it looked pretty blue. I don't know what color.
It's a bit greenish.
It's good. Depends on which side you're on.
But the Blue Ocean is warmer.
Yes.
Warmer conditions.
All
It's
right.
not like our cold side of things. So I want to experience that. So for anybody who has a little crush on me.
Oh, there we go. If you have a little crush on her, take her to a honeymoon.
Yes.
That's how it works.
No, we're not going to have a honeymoon. They were just
visiting.
getting to know each other in Zanzibar. Well, moving over to some bizarre news. A man claims he is a cyborg from 2050 and he's sent to warn humans about an apocalypse. Now, not everyone was convinced by his backstory. Now, a cyborg from the year 2050 has suggested an apocalypse is on the way and that he has been sent back in time to warn us. The time traveler who goes by Orin is also convinced that the world is a simulation, so perhaps the apocalypse isn't something we need to worry about quite as much. Now, naturally, he spoke about the disaster to the only man qualified to hear it, Dr. Phil. We are a collective conscious, and it is our collective responsibility to guide Earth from the apocalypse in 2050. He added that right now the priority should be to escape the matrix, which is already probably on the top of many people's to-do list. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Is that
Right.
on the top of your to-do list?
No.
To escape the matrix?
It depends what the context of a matrix is. And what is with this savior complex?
Yeah, and then
You know
he's saying, like, you should watch the video. Dr. Phil recently released, it's from a previous show, of course. He recently released it, like, I think a day ago. Or
We're still calling him doctor?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, actually, why do we still call he does not, why do we still call him Dr. Phil?
It's a brand name. Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently he has an implant in his head, so he's not like all flesh. And he kept on referring to himself as we. Yeah. So.
Okay. Look, it's very interesting, especially people who like to mention that we're all living in a simulation. Oh, so you're the one who knows.
Yeah.
Of every other human being, no matter who's done robotics, no matter who is a smart person, you're the one who knows that we're all in a simulation. And we are all waiting for you to guide us in 2050.
Yes.
Very interesting.
But he had some good points. He said for us to escape whatever, the matrix, we have to move away from things like race, trying to put a racial divide, your sexual orientation. We shouldn't discriminate against you. Yeah, that's a human right. That's a human right.
Help to figure that out. You know what I mean? And if you want to tell us the world is ending, you just go to a UN climate change conference. They've been telling us for the longest time that the world is ending if we continue going the way that we're going. So, I mean, I find it interesting that people come and use obvious things. You're not the first person to discover racial divides.
Yes.
And everyone who talks about a simulation has never lived in Africa. I promise you, there's no simulation happening here. First of all, if you're just messing around the wrong way in the village, your mom could quapper you at the back of your head. You can't predict that. That's not a simulation. It can just happen. You know what I'm saying?
It's so true.
I've always found people feel like, oh, we're all living in a matrix. My friend, have you ever spent a week without electricity in the village? You will tell me about your matrix stories.
That you can escape.
It doesn't make any sense. All right, now let's talk about people who actually helped us escape with our consent, and we loved them for it. And this is the great actor, Mr. Michael Gambon, best known for playing Albus Dumbledore in most of Harry Potter movies, has died at 82 following a bout of pneumonia. A statement issued on behalf of his family said on Thursday. Now, we are devastated to announce the loss of Sir Michael Gambon. The statement issued by his publicist said, beloved husband and father, Michael died peacefully in hospital with his wife and son at his bedside. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Wow. I felt some type of way reading, hearing that news, because we grew up with, I actually didn't grow up with Harry Potter. 4 years back, that's when I started getting
that's
into
what you
Harry
got into.
Potter.
Can I
Yeah.
tell you something? I actually grew up with Harry Potter. When I was in grade 4, I was the same age as Harry Potter. That's the first time I read Philosopher's Stone. And I know it's interesting. Okay, I know it's a little weird. It's like Ashwin the poet, Ashwin the MC, Ashwin the sports guy, Ashwin the Harry Potter nerd. The first book is Philosopher's Stone. The second one is Chambers of Secrets. The second one is Prisoner of Azkaban. The fourth one is Goblet of Fire. The fifth one is The Order of Phoenix. So, Order of the Phoenix. It's something that I grew up with. I was with it, watching all these movies, reading all these books. And to see Dumbledore feels like losing a distant grandfather, so to speak, because, the role said a lot of things which one needed to hear. And I appreciate it when we know that we are in a created fantasy, unlike our previous cyborg guy who's going to tell us we're in a simulation. Rest in peace, sir.
Yeah, and it's also one of the things that looking back, I wish I had watched Harry Potter as a kid. Because that changes the way you see the world, the way you perceive yourself.
Absolutely.
And it changed a lot of kids. And Dumbledore was, at the heart of that.
Yes. Of course, for African kids, it was a little difficult to sell a European witchcraft book to your parents. So I can
Why
understand.
are you buying this book? Tell me, what is in this
And they're
book?
literally called Witches and Wizards. So
It's true.
I had to read in secret. You know what I mean?
Yeah. In the bathroom. Why are you in the bathroom for so long?
I'm trying to flip through the pages.
So would you recommend, because I just I watch all the movies, but I have not read the books, and people say there's a big difference between the books and
Actually, I would
and the
argue,
movies.
I mean, look, from Philosopher's Stone, it goes into Half-Blood Prince, it goes into The Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2, right? And these were all movies now which were now like, closer to this generation of filmmaking. But the reason I think people love Harry Potter, I truly feel was the first time that you read the book and the film accurately described and gave you more details that you could have expected. I think that's what made it so great.
complemented each other.
Oh, yes, yeah. It's the Game of Thrones guys who complain about those things. You know what I
guys,
mean?
the Game of Don't talk to me about
They're the
Game
ones
of-
who, do you
I'm
know
gonna
funny
cry.
thing about Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
It ended in season 8.
Yes.
People had told me season 8 was rubbish, and I'd watched until season 7.
Yes.
So I've never watched season 8. And
No,
so
don't do
for
that
me,
to yourself.
So for me, Game of Thrones
But it
is a
was
good
already
series.
going down, from season 7, season 6. It was already, you could see the quality
The decline was
yes,
good.
there was
It
a bit of a
Do
decline.
you think it was George Martin's fault? Because, the writer of the book
He shouldn't
gave
have
them
let
the
it.
rights.
Yeah,
he shouldn't have given them the rights.
Because the
to-
first few seasons, you can see he had his hand.
Yes, yes.
And then when he gave them free reign, that's when
But
they
it's
were
probably
like,
us, the fans, who are like, oh, we want this, we want that. And he goes, okay, go with your little market things.
Yeah.
And then it didn't work out for us.
So are you watching House of Dragon?
I haven't started it. People
Yeah.
are telling me that
It's
it's
quite good,
But
yeah.
this weekend, I shall be rewatching all the aforementioned Harry Potter films and crying.
I will join you.
Do
I will
join me,
join
do
you
join
on
me,
that.
yeah.
Now moving on to some rather disturbing news. A 16-year-old boy was arrested after he deliberately cut a famous tree. A famous tree that has stood on Britain's Roman-built Hadrian's Wall for more than 200 years has been deliberately cut in what authorities have called an act of vandalism. The sycamore tree located in the Northumberland National Park in northern England was made famous to millions around the world when it appeared in Kevin Costner's 1991 blockbuster film Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Now, police said they have arrested a 16-year-old boy following the incident, which was believed to have taken place overnight on Thursday. The tree at a spot known as Sycamore Gap was located on the historic UNESCO World Heritage listed Hadrian's Wall, which was constructed around 1,900 years ago to guard the furthest northwestern frontier of the Roman Empire. Now, the Sycamore Gap was considered one of the most photographed trees in England and was voted as English Tree of the Year in 2016.
So why didn't they have security?
I'm just wondering.
If it was this important of a tree, it was a World Heritage Site. You have to respect people who just expect things to be fine. Considering particularly the British, who spent time uprooting art from
But I would
Africa,
never think
which
that
is in their
somebody
museums.
would go and cut down a famous tree.
Really?
I would.
Okay,
Yeah,
how
I
many-
think maybe that's I would.
How many African artifacts are in the British Museum, and how many of them were not uprooted? You just feel, you know what I mean? And I just feel like if someone
hear.
doesn't respect, I mean, I get it. Look, I think it's a wonderful tree. It's got a wonderful story around it. But I think if you don't have a reputation of respecting the artifacts and the creative integrity of nations around the world, I wouldn't be surprised if you start uprooting your own. Of course, it's a 16-year-old, which means it was probably misguided. He didn't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was drunk.
The police are saying they're still investigating the matter.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
it
should have
just
had
happened
security,
recently.
though.
Yeah, it's crazy
They
that
should have had
there is a
security.
guard there, but it's not like
Did he fall asleep or what?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But he kept
Yeah.
on saying how he is heartbroken.
Heartbroken.
He's heartbroken.
Okay. You
A
see,
lot
this
of
is-
people are heartbroken
Here
over
we go.
this.
Here we go with the Brits.
Heartbroken.
Oh my goodness. These guys literally have skulls in their museums.
Yes, it's
literally
sad.
skulls. So I'm not saying that people shouldn't treasure their heritage sites. No, we're not saying that. But I do think we're allowed to provide context. And when it comes to context, we're going to respect your art as much as you respect ours. You know what I mean? So we certainly hope. I mean, I loved Robin Hood, you know,
Yes.
and no one wants to lose an artifact that is that old. You know what I mean? It's very sad. But you'll be fine because we all are, in
Yeah.
spite of you. Okay, moving over to Barcelona, they're being charged with suspected bribery for allegedly paying more than 7 million euros to companies linked to former refereeing committee Vice President Jose Maria Enriquez Negreira, according to ESPN's Sam Marston and Moises Lorenz. Former Barcelona presidents Josep Maria Bartomeu and Sandro Rosell and Negreira and his son Javier Enriquez Romero are also being charged with suspected bribery, according to ESPN. The complaint was initially filed against Barcelona, the club's former presidents, and Negreira in a Spanish court in March. An investigation was opened into the alleged payments. This is interesting. And these span 2 decades, from 1993 to 2018.
And I know they were dominating at some point. I
course,
remember
of
Barcelona
course.
was like,
Yes, without a doubt.
and I'm not even a sports fan or
No, you
anything,
don't
and
need
I
to
knew
be.
that.
Yeah, I mean, the best players have played for Barcelona, but it does bring into question one particular debate. Should these allegations be proven right? Who is truly the greatest of all time of this generation? I don't think we can, greatest of all time, that's a different conversation. Of this generation, the conversation has been between Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. All right, so I'll give Lionel Messi one thing, which Cristiano Ronaldo definitely does not have, which is a World Cup. Can't take it away from him.
Yes.
He definitely was at the core of that. That is his thing. But with the Barcelona wins, look, as an Arsenal supporter, I remember a very sketchy final against Barcelona where the referee made some very dubious decisions. You know what I mean? I feel like that trophy should be in our cabinet. And I feel like if some people are looking at this and they say, if the referees were helping Barcelona, Cristiano was winning in Madrid without the help of the referees. So some people might be saying, hey, it's time to bring
Is
that
it?
debate back because one person had the referees on their side, allegedly.
So, but when we look at greatest of all time, do we look at just the wins, the sportsmanship,
the
character?
I'm glad you mentioned that. So
or,
sometimes,
yes.
I mean, character, no.
We don't look at it.
You don't look for character in the world's top athletes. There's too much ego. Imagine looking for character from Michael Jordan. You're not going to get character from
But
him.
I would say like Lionel Messi is a better leader between the two.
It depends. It
Yeah.
depends on where they are, where they were. Lionel Messi is a good leader of Argentina. He was no sort of leader at Barcelona. Ronaldinho was doing that. Xavi Alonso. He had a lot of people who had natural leadership qualities around him, and Argentinians actually had to urge him to get into that leadership role. Ronaldo has always been a leader, without a doubt. But I do think the trophies matter. If the trophies are what we're counting, Messi takes us over and beyond.
Yes.
If the skill is what we're talking about, talent on the skill, you also can't take it away from Lionel Messi. Ronaldo, also there with the skill, but with the longevity as well, right? And the dominance. But we're talking about Lionel Messi was something that we had never seen before. And it remains that. Just the
Yes.
way he was.
The little
He
mouse.
stood out.
That's what they
that's
called.
that's his nickname.
Yeah.
And so it felt like he brought a different layer to the game. But that did not stop Ronaldo, and that did not take away from the achievements that he had in spite of Lionel Messi. So the debate remains layered, but for me, the greatest of all time is it depends. I use their peak. How good was your best years? How good were your best years? And for me, the person with the best years is Ronaldinho.
Really?
That's for me.
Wow. Wow. I would. Okay. Cool.
And for you, who's your favorite before we wrap this
I
up?
would just say it's Lionel Messi.
That you like Messi.
I
can't
love
take it
the
away
way
from
he
you.
is as a even the sportsmanship behind
Yeah.
it. Even though there's ego, there's a lot of humility, and that is what you need in the greatest of all time, I would say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, after the break, of course, we're going to be, no, you said you're not going to be at the village market, but
Yeah.
it's one of the things I'm going to be looking at. After the break, Small the Coffee will be chatting to the village market organizers. Just stay tuned.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
In true birth week style, because it is still my birth week and we are still celebrating. Now, you probably know, I've said this on the show before, that my second favorite F word is Friday, the first being food. So yes, we are talking food and a market. So if you like food and you like markets, we have something special in store for you taking place later today. And I have with me the organizer, Dion. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
So start us off by briefly telling us about the market that is taking place later today.
Yes, so it will be our first good food market. It's taking place at the village in Eros, and it will start at 5 until 11.
All right.
So tickets are available online via web tickets, $80 for adults, on the door it's 100, $30 for children above 5, 50 on the door.
All right, awesome. And this is taking place today, so you better not miss it. So what prompted you to host an event like this?
So actually we just actually immigrated, my wife and me, here in Namibia, and we found in the weekends there is some space for foodies market, night market. We couldn't find it that really in Windhoek, which we can find all over the world. So we decided to actually start an event company, and this will be actually our first event. So why night and food market? Because food and drinks is quite accessible for the people. I think everybody here in Namibia like good food. They also like to have a nice drink. And so why not making the combination in a night atmosphere, which has the village already a very long time, with some nice live music and some other nice special
I'm
things.
definitely looking forward to that. I'll put on my dancing shoes for tonight, and very comfortable shoes, because I am going to be walking around
Yes.
getting a sample of all the amazing food. So what can we expect from the market?
So you can expect good food. So
Definitely.
we're gonna have 20 plus vendors,
Wow.
all different food from Asian, Vietnamese, Indonesian, Indian, loaded burgers, kapana, good kapana. There will also be a spit.
Spit
So
fry.
spit dry, yes. And there will be a special thingy. We're gonna have a VIP lounge where you can sit comfortable, enjoy a glass of champagne with some oysters, but where you also can have actually a nice massage.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds like everything that I would enjoy. So please share the planning process to make such an event possible.
Yeah, so it took quite some energy to find the right venue, but yeah, the village is for us the most or the best place to hold our first event. We got in touch with our partner Web Tickets to sell the tickets online, but also on the door they are still available. We go with Leffa, partnering for responsible drink and drive. We have also an agreement with Club Mint. So if people attend our market, please keep your wristband if you want to do clubbing between 10 and 12. You can enter for free in Club Mint. So for some losing the calories that you got in our market. And yeah, we also did quite a selection of good vendors, so that people doesn't have 4 times the same vendor on our venue. So it will be really 20 different vendors desserts, ice cream, like I said, Asian food, kapana. So there will be for everybody something. But important as well, I talked about the VIP lounge, where it's only for adults, where they can enjoy people without the children. But also we have a very big supervised kiddies corner that is for the biggest part for free.
Oh, wow. So you see, you don't have an excuse to say, oh, but I don't have a babysitter, I don't have a nanny. No, you can do so much at the Good Food Market, and we are so looking forward to it. I will be there live and in color, and you know I am going to be snapping and Instagramming because it is still my birth week. Thank you so much, Dion, for joining me and for letting us in on the Good Food Market. We're definitely looking forward to it. Stick around, we will be right back with more Smell the Coffee after the break.
Well, that's it from Smell the Coffee with Glenora Shipura and Ashwin Betty. Looking forward to tomorrow's episode as well.
Yes, I am. We're going to be at the Future Females event happening at Wanderers. So, yeah.
Power to the women. Have a good weekend.